Have you ever found yourself caught in a familiar loop? You're replaying a conversation in your head, frustrated by what someone said or did, or perhaps you're fixated on a past mistake, wishing you could rewind time and choose differently. Maybe it's a future event, a decision made by an authority figure, or the unpredictable turn of global events that has you feeling anxious and powerless. This feeling, this churning, restless energy directed at things outside your sphere of influence is a fundamental human experience. We spend so much of our precious mental and emotional capital on what simply isn't ours to command. It's like trying to steer a ship from a distant shore, shouting into the wind, hoping your words will somehow change its course. The futility of it can be utterly exhausting, leaving us depleted and no closer to a solution. The Stoics recognized this drain, this fundamental misdirection of effort, and offered a surprisingly simple, yet profoundly liberating solution. They called it the dichotomy of control, though you might know it more simply as understanding what is up to us and what is not up to us. Epictetus, the former slave who became a great Stoic teacher, made this distinction the very cornerstone of his philosophy. He taught that some things are within our power: our opinions, our impulses, our desires, our aversions, and, in a word, all our own actions. Other things are not within our power: our bodies, property, reputation, command, and, in a word, all things which are not our own actions. This isn't just an abstract idea, it's a practical framework for living. Think about it: your judgment of a situation, the effort you put into a task, your decision to act with integrity or kindness, these are entirely yours. The outcome of that task, the other person's reaction, how they perceive you, or whether the weather cooperates, these are emphatically not. The immense relief comes when you truly internalize this. Consider a work project. You can choose to prepare diligently, to communicate clearly, to put forth your best effort. These are all within your control, but whether your boss approves it, whether a client changes their mind last minute, or whether a key piece of software crashes, these are not. If you invest your emotional well-being into the outcome of the project rather than the quality of your effort, you set yourself up for inevitable disappointment and frustration. The Stoics would argue that clinging to these external things, wishing they were different, is the very source of our suffering. It's a form of self-inflicted torture, like continually hitting your head against a wall, expecting the wall to move. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, constantly reminded himself of this distinction in his daily meditations. He understood that while he could command armies and govern an empire, he could not control the fidelity of his subordinates, the loyalty of his family, or the precise moment of his own death. What he could control was how he responded to betrayal, how he chose to lead, and how he faced his own mortality. He understood that pouring his energy into changing what was unchangeable was a fool's errand. Instead, he directed his focus inward, towards his own character, his own reason, and his own actions. This didn't make him passive, it made him strategically powerful, conserving his energy for where it could truly make a difference. Think about how often you worry about what others think of you. You might spend hours crafting a perfect email, rereading it, agonizing over every word, only to feel deflated if you don't receive the exact response you hoped for. Or you might withhold your true opinion in a conversation, fearing judgment. The email you sent, your honest opinion, these are within your control. The other person's interpretation, their judgment, their eventual reaction, these are not. Seneca, another great Stoic, encouraged us to build our happiness on foundations that cannot be shaken, and the only unshakable foundations are those built within ourselves, our choices, our values, our responses. When you truly grasp this, you start to feel a lightness, a freedom from the heavy burden of trying to orchestrate the world around you. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to the world or stop trying to influence positive change. It means you approach efforts differently. You work for a cause you believe in, knowing that the success of the cause is not entirely in your hands, but your commitment and effort are. You offer advice to a friend, understanding that whether they take it is their choice, but your intention to help is yours. You engage in difficult conversations, focusing on expressing yourself clearly and calmly, rather than controlling the other person's agreement or anger. It's about shifting your locus of control from external outcomes to internal processes. This shift is not a form of resignation, it's an intelligent allocation of your most precious resources, your attention and your will. So, the next time you feel that familiar tug of frustration or anxiety, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this truly within my control? Can I directly affect this right now with my own thoughts, words, or actions? If the answer is no, practice the difficult but liberating act of letting go. Release the mental grip, redirect your energy, and bring your focus back to what is undeniably yours, your present choice, your immediate response, your unwavering effort. For today, try this. Pick one thing that has been bothering you that is clearly outside your control. Consciously, deliberately, let it go. Give yourself permission to stop wrestling with the unmanageable. Feel the quiet power that comes from knowing where to truly direct your will. Direct your energy only to what you control, and find your freedom there. Thank you for sitting with these words today. If they steadied you, subscribe and return tomorrow. A new reflection waits each morning.